Mermaid boatyard? Yes, he's right here. It's your solicitor.
How'd it go, Tony? But that's not justice. Well, how can I possibly defend myself if they won't let me? Yeah, I'm sure you tried your best, but it just wasn't good enough, was it? They've thrown out my appeal. The judge won't lift the sequestration order on the wreckage until the surveyors have filed their reports.
That means you only have a chance to challenge him?
Exactly.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Howard. That's bloody unfair.
Yes, it is. They're going to find me guilty, Bill, and unless I can examine the evidence, there's nothing I can do about it.
Arthur collared me at the Jolly Sailor. Asked me to give you that. Looks like a bill.
As for my room, I own for a month's rent.
Well, that's small potatoes compared with what we are supplies.
I'm going to have to move out.
Well, why don't you have a word with Arthur? If you explain the circumstances,
I can't afford to pay. I better move into the paint locker.
Jan, Ken. Hi. That proposition you put to me. I'm sorry I haven't got back to you sooner. I've just been up to my eyes in it these past few days.
That's all right. What's the answer?
Well, I've decided to hang on to my share of the boutique. I think you're going places. I like to tag along.
I see.
Oh, don't sound so disappointed. It's a compliment. I think it's a great investment.
But it may not be paying dividends for much longer.
What's that supposed to mean?
You'll see.
Charles, how's your golf these days?
Rusty.
Oh, I like to give it practice. Some of my most lucrative deals have been made on the golf course.
Poor old Stevens. How much do you take him for?
Couple of hundred. He was a bit rusty, too.
Lucrative deal, was it?
Oh, it's not for me. It's for the local community, but it's not finalized yet.
Oh, I'm sure you'll get what you want.
How did you know it was Stevens?
Not much happens around here without my knowing it.
Drink?
No, thanks.
Then I take it this is not a social visit.
Well, as a matter of fact, it is. A friend of yours asked to be remembered to you. Werner Grunwald.
Who?
Werner Grunwald. He's a house guest of mine at the moment.
Never heard of him.
Oh. Well, I wonder why he'd asked to be remembered to you. He's one of the best-known finance lawyers in Switzerland. You have considerable interest there.
My Swiss interests are handled by Gustav Andermann in Bern.
Gomez Trust, Paxinu Overseas Services, Lavinia International.
You have been doing your homework.
I always do.
We could make a formidable team, Charles. Have you changed your mind about my offer yet?
Nope.
Little Bird tells me that you're considering a flatter with a business park development. He says a consortium have approached you to front their first British project. Is that true?
Might be.
Sounds risky.
Too risky for you to get involved.
Why should I get involved?
What's all this?
I've been shopping.
So I see. I thought I told you it had got to stop.
It will when we have everything we need.
And we need all this to it. What is it?
It's a dinner service, darling. It was reduced from 1,200 to 700, and I simply had to have it. A new set of wine glasses. Well, they were a bit expensive, but they're Venetian and absolutely unique. Sweetheart, look at this. Isn't it beautiful? I saw it in Corelli's window, and I simply had to have it. Gerald, have you gone mad? Do you have any idea of what that cost?
I neither know nor care. You better get the rest of this stuff out of here before I smash that too.
What's the matter with you? If you go on like this, you'll have a nervous breakdown.
Hopefully before you drag us into the bankruptcy court.
It's that phone call this morning, isn't it? That's what's worrying you. Why you've been behaving oddly lately. Gerald, would it help to talk about it? Look, I'm sorry I've been a bit extravagant lately. I'll take it all back tomorrow, I promise, but don't be angry with me. You frighten me when you lose your temper like that.
Good. Perhaps I should lose my temper more often.
Don't shut me out. Please tell me what's wrong.
I can't. One day, perhaps, but not now.
Charles,
Brought your housewarming present.
thank you.
Well, well, this is a nice place.
I'm glad you approve.
You must have committed yourself to a pretty hefty mortgage for this.
I haven't committed myself to anything.
Tell me something. Would you really have resigned?
Of course. I wouldn't have offered my resignation if I hadn't intended to go through with it.
No, you wouldn't, would you? That's one of the things I like about you. You don't play those games. Well, aren't you going to open it?
All right. Oh. Oh, Charles.
Still like Chagall?
Well, yes, of course, but I can't possibly accept this. It's far too valuable.
Oh, just call it part of my management incentive scheme.
But it's so carefully chosen.
Do you remember that exhibition? And the opera? Chagall followed by Mozart. Perfect day.
Yes, of course I remember.
Well, where are you going to hang it? How about over here? That'll catch the eye without being too dominant.
Look, you didn't just come here to give me a present, did you? What's the real reason?
Do I need a reason?
I hear your father's back in the area. Have you seen him?
Yes. May I?
Yes, of course.
How about you?
No, not just now, thanks. What's he doing back here?
Good question.
Why does his visit affect you?
It won't, unless his business interests clash with mine.
Are they likely to?
The way he operates, you can never be sure.
Why do you resent him, Charles?
Why should I resent him? I hardly know him.
Then what is it?
Oh, he's been after me again to accept a position in his group of companies.
So?
Well, he's always expected me to follow in his footsteps. I've always declined. Oh, you know that. Point is, I don't think he's ever forgiven me. In fact, I think nothing would give him greater pleasure than to destroy me.
Why on earth would he want to do that?
Because I'm a rival.
You're his son.
Well, only in name. He doesn't give a damn about me. Or about anybody else, for that matter. All he's ever cared about is power, money.
Isn't that all you care about?
Not exclusively.
What about your mother? He cared about her, didn't he?
Why? Because he married her?
Oh, no. When I met him, he sounded so proud of her. He told me how she could trace her family back through generations of French aristocracy.
Well, that's all she ever meant to him. Social stepping stone, nothing more.
The way he talked about her, they sounded like the perfect couple.
It's all on the surface. She died a very unhappy woman. She was unfulfilled and totally neglected.
Just like you. That's really why you resent him, isn't it?
I have to go.
Where'd you stay for supper?
Thanks, I'd like to, but I have a house guest. Good night, Avril. See myself out.